Hello everyone, this is Rick Ray from rickrayfx.com. That's my website where you can go to find out more about Forex trading. So here we are with another week's analysis, and we'll be looking at the high impact fundamental news that comes out every week, the data we need to watch for. And there were 2 or 3 setups that I shared with you last week, which we will review, have a look at, see how those turned out. And then of course, I will share my new trade setups with you. And remember, this is not financial advice that I'm giving you, okay? I am not suggesting or recommending you take the same trades. It's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. Some people sometimes ask me for a broker, if I can recommend a good broker. And of course, I've been using the same broker for more than 5 years, so I would easily and highly recommend Fullerton Markets. All right, they are a global broker. I have clients from more than 25 countries around the world that use Fullerton Markets. They are a multi-asset broker. You can trade, of course, all the currencies, the metals, gold, silver, platinum, many stock CFDs, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to trade. And of course, if you're a crypto enthusiast, you can trade cryptos with Fullerton Markets. So you'll find the link just below this video, and it's an easy sign up. All right, so let's have a look at the news and see what's coming up. And I can tell you in advance, it is going to be a doozy week. All I can say is fasten your seatbelts. I've got 2 pages actually this week. I always try to squeeze it in on 1 page, but this week I have 2 pages, and I've highlighted the main items that we need to be watching for. And usually we don't have any high impact news on Monday, but this week we do. Starting it off with a bang. This will be 9 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States on Monday morning. Of course, these times that I show on my screen are Asian times, as I always tell you, if you live in Laos, Vietnam, or Malaysia. So be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. Monday we have the ISM manufacturing PMI for the U.S. economy. And then on Tuesday, we have the cash rate or the bank rate, interest rate, from the Australian economy. And then we have later in the day on Tuesday, we have for the U.S. economy the JOLTS job opening. And then finally on Wednesday, at least for this page, finally, okay, we have the ADP non-farm employment change, and that is an estimation of what we will be seeing on the Friday non-farm employment change. And then the ISM services PMI, and that's just for the first 3 days. All of these highlighted high impact items that we need to be watching for. Then continuing on with the second page, on Thursday we have, of course, the FOMC statement, and that is at 1 a.m. in Asia. And then we have the federal funds rate, and the Federal Reserve of the U.S. is expected to raise the interest rate by 25 basis points. Whether or not they will do that, we will see. And then later in the day on Thursday, we have the euro. They call it the main refinancing rate. It's the bank rate, cash rate, interest rate, all the same thing. And then later in the day on Thursday still, we have some more news on the Canadian economy. The BOC, Bank of Canada governor, will be speaking, but that's not highlighted here. But on Friday, of course, the first Friday of every month, the big one that all traders watch for, and that is the non-farm employment change, along with the unemployment rate. So it's a fully packed week with high impact news items, and be sure and check forexfactory.com because it's going to be a crazy week. It's going to be wild. As I said in the beginning, fasten your seatbelts and let's see what happens. So let's have a review of the couple of trade setups that I shared with you last week. Nothing executed. Okay, the New Zealand US, I had a sell limit on that, and it just went straight down from the beginning of the week. Started to recover in the US session on Friday, but never did hit the sell limit. And the EuroCAD also took off like a ballistic missile on Monday, and it never looked back. It started to look back on Thursday, and then had a closing bearish run on the US session on Friday. And then the USD CAD, I had a buy limit on that, but that one also took off like a similar ballistic missile, but ended up bearish on the close of the U.S. session on Friday. And those are the trade setups that I shared with you last week. So nothing open, and it happens that way sometimes. You know, you can't win every trade. You don't even have to trade every day or even every week. The market will be here next week and the week after, and all we can do is plan our trades and trade the plan. So I do have some trade setups for you this upcoming week, some that you need to be very cautious with, okay, especially with gold. The last week or so, actually about 10 trading days, gold has been fairly sideways, especially this last week, the last week of April. We saw a lot of up and down movement, and trading gold was really only good for the scalpers. If you made some good pips on that, congratulations to you. Okay, well done. But you need to be cautious, especially with the news coming out this week, the non-farm payroll and the FOMC statement. But gold is showing bearish on the day chart, and it's also showing bearish on the H4 chart. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we've been getting some contradictory signals, with it being bearish on one chart, bullish on another, or neutral. But this week it's fully bearish, okay, fully bearish. All right, so I have a sell limit with the entry price at $19.95. All right, but again, be cautious, because the news that's coming out this week will definitely cause a lot of volatility with gold and the U.S. major pairs. Then on the Euro-US, it's bullish on the day chart, neutral on the H4 chart. So I have no trade on that. When I have contradictory signals like that, I would rather just sit back and wait until I get some more clear indication of the direction of the currency pair. So no trade on the Euro-US. The odd US, I have a sell limit, and that's at entry price 0.6690. And then on the New Zealand US, I also have a sell limit with the entry price at 0.6210. And remember, the Australian economy is set to release their bank rate, their cash rate, their interest rate this week. So when the Australian dollar moves one direction or the other because of high impact news, usually the New Zealand dollar will follow. So be watching for that news coming out on the Australian interest rate in regards to these two trades with the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. Then the pound US, I have a buy limit with the entry price at 1.2500. Okay, that's got to come down a long way. That had some kind of a miraculous takeoff on Friday during the U.S. session, so it has a long way to come for a correction and to give us a better price. The key thing here is that, as I was talking about last week, the $1.25, 1.25 area, that zone, has been a key psychological factor. It's been a key resistance zone, and we were waiting to see if it would break and close above that, which it did on Friday. So now that 1.25 resistance zone has now become support. So let's look for a correction back to that 1.2500 zone, and then that will be a good place to take a buy trade, a good pending order on the pound US at 1.2500. Then the USD CAD, I have a buy limit on that, as we are starting to see some strengthening of the US dollar. The entry price is 1.3480 on the US CAD. And then two minor pairs, okay, the pound New Zealand, a sell limit. I did not share a signal with that one last week. I had no trade set up because I showed you on the chart it has been just super overbought, extremely overbought, and it's bounced off of this blue line here, which is a very key resistance zone, and hasn't been able to break above that. And you saw it was very erratic on Thursday and Friday, trying to go up and touch that but falling back down. So I'm looking for the pound New Zealand to start to move in a bearish direction. So on this one, trade cautiously, trade small, because it's still bullish. Okay, it's still bullish on the chart, but it's very, very overbought, and we have to start seeing, well, we don't have to, nothing is guaranteed in Forex, as you know, but I'm expecting to see some kind of a correction in a bearish direction. So I have a sell limit at the resistance zone there, the blue line you see at 2.0375. And then finally, the second minor pair that I always share with you, and that's the Euro CAD. I have a buy limit on that. Okay, it has been bearish for a long time. It's been having a really good run, but it needs to come down and give us a better price, fill up this gap that you see there, come down to that blue line, and the entry price is 1.4800, and then it should continue its bullish run. Okay, so that's it for my trade setups that I've shared with you. Remember, this is not financial advice. You can take these trades if you want, but use good risk management. It's up to you to place your own stop loss and take profit. And if you are interested, and I do get a lot of inquiries about automated trading, I find this to be my most beneficial and enjoyable type of trading is robot trading, EA trading. Okay, so you can go to the website, a dedicated website that I have for automated trading, and that is ProsperityRisingEA.com, and you'll find more information about automated trading there. Okay, any inquiries or comments, just leave them below this video. I will get back to you. And this is Rick Ray signing off, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks again. Bye-bye.